Hello everyone. So today in this video I'm going to discuss the question equal frequencies which is asked in VK Cup 2022. In this question we are given a balanced string. A string is we are given a string actually. A string is called balanced if and only if the appearances of all the characters are same. What I mean to say is, let's say there are k distinct characters, then the appearances of k distinct characters in the string should be same. For example, in coder, total there are 5 distinct characters C, O, D, E, and R, and the appearance of each character is one. In Apple, there are 3 distinct characters A, P, and L, and the occurrence of each character is 2. Similarly, and so on. And what we have to tell is actually we are given an unbalanced string, and we have to convert that string into balanced string using the minimum number of operations. We have to also print the final string. There can be multiple final strings, and also we have to print the minimum number of steps which are required to convert that unbalanced string into a balanced string. So let's understand the question with the help of examples. In the example 1, we can see that we are given hello, HELLO, hello. We can see that here the occurrence of H. We can see that here the occurrence of H is 1 times. Here the occurrence of E is also 1 time. Here the occurrence of L is actually 2 times, and here the occurrence of O is 1 time. So it is preferred to convert this L into some other variable, let's say K. So we get HELKO such that occurrence of H becomes 1, occurrence of E also becomes 1, occurrence of L becomes 1, and occurrence of K also becomes 1, and occurrence of O also becomes 1. So minimum number of operations required are 1, as we have converted L into K. So here we can see that here it is given 1, and here they form hello. We can also form HELKO, or we can also form HELMO, or we can form HEALO, so on. So and so on. There are multiple answers which can be possible. So we have to return the minimum number of operations as well as the string which is formed after the operations required after the operations. So what we will do is we will follow 2 steps. The first step is let's understand the steps with the example number second, 10 code forces. In the example second, we are given 10 code forces, CODEFORCES. What we will do is we will first maintain the frequency of each distinct character. So we can see that the C is present 2 times, then O is present 2 times, then D is present 1 time, then E is present 2 time, then E is present 2 time, then F is present 1 time, then R is present 1 time, and we can see that the S is present 1 time. S is present 1 time. So what we can conclude from here that actually I'm discussing about the steps which we need to follow. The first step, let's say this is the step 1. In step 1, what I have to do is I have to first maintain the frequency count. That frequency count that C is present 2 times, O is present 1 time, D is present 2 times, E is present 2 times, so on. Now what I will do is I will sort them in decreasing order. Decreasing order of frequency. In decreasing order of frequency, these are actually the frequencies. So I will sort them in the decreasing order of frequencies. So I will write C present 2 times, O present 2 times, E present 2 times. Actually both are present, all 3 of them are present 2 times. So the order of COE doesn't matter at all. Then we will do D is present 1 time, F is present 1 time, then R is present. We can say that R is present 1 time, and then S is present 1 time. S is present 1 time. So first step is we maintain the frequencies, and then we will sort all the frequencies based on this second value, that is the frequency count. What I will do is after that I will put all characters from A to Z. After that I will put all the characters from A to Z except the characters which I had used here. I will put all the characters from A to Z. So we can see that here I had used C, here I had used O, E, D, F, R and S. So I will put all the characters from A to Z except all these characters. So I will put A, marked it with 0. I will put B, marked it with 0. I will not put C because C is used already. So I will put D is also used, E is also used, F is also used. Then I will put G, marked with 0, and so on I will put till Z. So first I have to maintain this actually. This is my step 1. After the step 1, I actually have all 26 characters such that, or you can also do it, the first maintain all 26 characters and then maintain the frequency count of each character and then decrease all in the base of their frequencies in decreasing order, in the base of this frequencies in decreasing order. This is the step 1. The step 2 is, let me maximize the screen. Step 2. Then step 2 is, we have to traverse. We have to find the factors actually. We have to find the factors of n. Y factors of n. Let's take the example of Codeforces only. Let's take the example of Codeforces only. In the Codeforces, we can see that there are total of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 characters. We have 10 characters. If we want that, let's say the total number of distinct characters in the Codeforces are k. Suppose Codeforces, as know, it is an unbalanced string. Let's suppose we convert this unbalanced string into a balanced string, and after we had converted it into a balanced string, the total number of distinct characters in it are k. And we know that every distinct characters will repeat, let's say, m times. So we know that there are total k distinct characters and every distinct characters will repeat m times. Which is equal to the total number of characters, which is n, which is actually here 10. So this is actually total number of distinct characters and this is actually repetition of each character. So we can say that the n modulo k is 0. That is, the total number of characters is divisible by the number of distinct characters. The total number of characters is divisible by the number of distinct characters. It means the number of distinct characters must be a factor of total number of characters. The number of distinct characters must be a factor of total number of characters. So what I will do is, as I got to know that the total number of distinct characters must be a factor of total number of characters, so I will find the total number of factors of n. So here n is 10, so factors are 1, 2, 5 and 10. It means what I can say is the total number of distinct characters in the string can be 1, can be 5, can be 2, can be 5 and can be 10. Apart from these one, for example 6 can't be the total number of distinct characters, because if there are total number of 6 distinct characters, then the frequency of each character would not be same. So we have also done the second step. So what is our first step? The first step is we will from A to Z, we will store the frequency of a count of each character and thus sort them in decreasing order according to their frequency count. The second step is we got to relation that that in a balanced string, the number of distinct characters into the frequency of each character is actually equal to the length of the string. So n modulo k is 0. So we will find out the factors of n, which represents that either the number of distinct characters can be either 1, can be either 2, can be either 5 or can be either 10. So these are the two conclusions which we can make to it. So let's now move on to how we will actually solve the question. So let's take the example of hello only. Hello. At present, so another thing which we have to save is we will also save the indexes. Suppose I mark from A to Z and at H, suppose I make an array of size 26 and at H, that is, I can say I make an array of size 26 where 0 represents A, 1 represents B, 2 represents C and so on. So on H I will mark index, that is H index is 0, E is 1, L is 2, L is 3, O is 4. So in H I will push 0. There is something E. In E I will push 1. In L I will push 2 and 3. That is, the L character is present at second index and at third index. And at O I will push 4. So we had actually done three things. The first thing is sorting in decreasing order. The second thing which we had done is uh, get to know about we will find the factors of n. And the third thing which we had done is maintaining the indexes of the variable, that the index h is present at 0 index matlab, h is present at 0 index, e is present at first index, l is present at second and third index, and o is present at fourth index. So we had actually this we can call it as step 3. Now let's move forward. Let me clean out the screen, then let's move forward. So we are done with all the 3 steps. So what we will do now is, let's take the example of hello only. So with hello I have actually 3 things. The first thing I have is L is present 2 times, H is present 1 times, E is present 1 times, O is present 1 time, and all the characters from A to Z except for these ones are present 0 times. The second thing I is the factors of 5. Factors of 5 are 1, 1 and 5. Factors of are 1 and 5, it means the total of distinct characters in it can either be 1 or can be 5. The third thing I have is that H actually contains 0, E actually contains 1, L contains 2, 3, and O contains 4. These 3 things I have present till now. The first thing, the second thing, and the third thing. These all 3 things we will require in further. So what we will do is we will traverse all the factors. So first factor is 1, then second factor is 5. So when we are traversing the first factor 1, I think that what I thought is, what does 1 represent? 1 represents that the total number of distinct characters in it should be 1. If the total number of distinct characters should be 1, so what's the frequency of each character? The frequency of each character would be as the length is 5, therefore 5 by 1. So I will say the frequency of each character would be 5. Okay, the frequency of each character will be 5. So I am actually traversing the factors array, and I got to know that if the number of distinct characters is 1, so the frequency of each character would have been 5. Inside that I will traverse hello. When we are traversing hello, I know that the frequency of each character should be 5. I will actually I will not traverse hello. What I will traverse is, I will traverse my step 1. This I will traverse. You can see the boundary which I am marking. Let me mark it. This is actually my step 1, which I am marking with green. I will traverse this as I have stored it somewhere. Let's say in the form of pairs. I stored it. I made a vector of pairs and stored it. The vector of pairs, pair of character and int. I stored L2, H1, E0. I will traverse this one. And to how much distance I will traverse this? I traverse this to, in this example, as the total number of distinct characters can be 1 only. So I will traverse this only 1 value. That is, I will traverse till this point. If suppose instead of 1 here, it would have been 3. So I will traverse 3 1. That is, I will traverse L, I will traverse H, and E. Why 3? Because the total number of distinct characters would be 3 in that case. So I will traverse as it is 1. So I will see that L is 2. It means L is present 2 times. And we know that the L is present 2 times, and we know that the frequency of each character should be 5. It means how many more L we want. It means number of similarities. First we will talk of number of similarities. two L's are two L's are already present and we want 5L. As two L's are present and we want 5L, it means number of similarities is 2. Number of similarities is 2. As the number of similarities are 2, we can see that the how many more else we want. So how many more else we want are 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. So at this instant we know that the two number of similarities are 2 and we want 3 more else. Now at this point you will be able to understand that why I sorted them in decreasing order. Because if suppose I will not sort them in decreasing order and in the top there is E1, then number of similarities would be 1 and the number of dissimilarities would be 5 minus 1 4, and as I want number of similarities to be more so that the minimum number of operations required would be less, that's why I sorted them in decreasing order. So number of similarities here would be 2 and the number of dissimilarities here would be actually 3. So I can say here C is the number of dissimilarities 2. So actually I am maintaining a variable, let's say maintaining a variable sim, which stores the number of similarities and initialize it with -1. If my current number of similarities, that is 2, we can see is greater than -1. So I will update that the number of similarities with 2. I will update the number of similarities with 2. That is my current the number of similarities are 2 and the number and therefore the number of dissimilarities are 3. I know that L is present at 2 places and we want 3 more L's. So what I will do is, you will become more clear about this when I am traversing actually this 5. Now discuss this one only. Number of similarities actually here it is 2. So what we will do is, we understand that we want 3 more L's are required and we have 2 L's. So we will see step 3. In step 3 we have already know that the index at which indexes L are present. So we will make a new string sk and at those indexes we will put L and we will put, as we know we want 3 more L's, so we will put 3 more L's and this is our string which is formed. Now this is the string which we had formed. We will save the string somewhere, or now we will see what we have to do now. So now I am traversing 5. When I am traversing 5, I know that the number of distinct characters which I want should be 5. There should be overall 5 distinct characters. I will go to L2, I will go to H, I think LEO, L2 H1 E1 O0. I will go to L2 H1 E1 O0. I think is O1. Then A is actually 0 times, B is actually 0 times, and so on. So as number of distinct characters should be 5, so I traverse 5 of them. I found that L is present 2 times, H is present 1 time, E is present 1 time, O is present 1 time, and A is present 0 times. I will traverse these 5 of them. So now what I should find is, I should find the number of similarities. As the number of distinct characters should be 5, so frequency of each character should be 1. I saw that the frequency of L is 2, but I want the frequency of L should be 1. So how many similarities are there? 1. I want the frequency of each character should be 1, and I can see that the H is present only 1 times. So similarity is 1. Similarly for E, similarity is 1. Similarly for O, similarity is 1. I want that A should be present 1 time, but A is present 0 times. The number of similarities is 0. So overall the total number of similarities are 4. In the previous one we can see that the total number of similarities are 2. As we can see now, the number of similarities are greater than the previous one. So what we can do is, we will update the number of similarities. We can say that now, okay, the number of similarities are 4. So and now I will traverse this again and I will say, okay, L is present 2 times. As we know that the L contains 2, 3. L is present 2 times and I want only the one occurrence of L. As you can see, this is I am marking it in green. This is 1. I want only one occurrence of L. So I will say, okay, this L2 comma 3 which I'm marking here, you can do is, you at second place you can made an array of 5 size, 1 2 3 4 5. At second index you will put L. You know H, H is present at, H is actually 1. H is present 1 times, and we want only one occurrence of L. So at the H place, we know that H is present here in the initial string, so I will put H here only. Similarly, I will put A here only, or I will put O here only. When I come to A, I will see that O should be present one time. O should be present one time. Why O should be present one time? O should be present one time so that every character should have equal frequency. And I know that O is present 0 times. So I will what I will do is, I have made this. Now I will traverse the whole array and find out the place which is empty. I found out, okay, this place is empty. So at this place I will put A. So my string becomes this. So at the end, while doing this, we will got the string. I know the question is little bit tricky, but you have to do it two or three times, dry run it, so that you will be able to understand the code. This is how I will form the string HELAO. So let's move to the code section. The code is a little bit longer, so because I had used the same thing which I had told here, so you can see that the code is little bit longer. If I have to brief out that I have made SK, you can see I have put dollar. What I'm saying is, when you find the place which is, when you are traversing it, you will see that you find a open place, so you will put A. So if I find a dollar, then I will put A or any other variable. Here you can see I had sort them in decreasing order of their frequencies. Here what I had done is, I had initial sim is equal to 1, but the initial similarity I had put it to be at s minus 1. At each instance I am finding the number of similarities. What is the number of similarities? Here I had done n by I. N by I means the frequency which I want every character should have, and vk of j dot second represent the frequency it is having. I've taken the minimum of them, and then I had done is, if initial similarity, number of similarities get the initial similarity, then I have updated the initial similarity. Then according to the indexes, I have also said that in L put 2 comma 3, that the L is present at 2 index and the third index. In that manner I have put at their places. And if suppose L should be present, suppose 5 times, and I know L is present 2 times. So in the final put, you can see in the final put, I push L comma 3, which means L should be present 3 times more. In L should be present, that is, I have taken vk of k dot first supposed to be L and 2 underscore put to be 3, that is, L should be present 3 times more. In this way I will traverse the final put at the end, and put L 3 times in the index at the random places where I found dollar. And at the end I know that n is the length of the array and initial sim is the number of similarities. So which is our answer, which is the minimum number of operations, and C out sk is the actually the length of, is actually the new string. If you like this video, do share and subscribe. Thank you.